What's also interesting is a verse like Lamentations 4 that says your leaders, your nobles were white. They were pure like milk, like snow. And it doesn't seem to be speaking about just their inside character being pure, because later in the verse it says that they're ruddy. It'd be like red-haired, reddish skin, ruddy. Again, that doesn't speak naturally of someone that would be an African.
Once again, Michael Brown is being dishonest, okay? Because he went to Lamentations 4 and started at verse 7. And this is what he said. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Okay, so this lets you know how wicked of a dirty dog Michael Brown really is, because he ignored verse 8. Their visage, or their face, visage means face and look of appearance. Their visage is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Why are they not known in the streets? Because they don't run the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. Because when you look at another verse, I forget where it said, it might be in Amos, where the Pharisees gave the Nazarites liquor and beer, or liquor or strong drink or wine, and told them to prophesy not. Okay, so he corrupted the Nazarites. But let's look up the definition of Nazarite and see what does it mean by they are purer than snow. Or what is a Nazarite anyway? Okay. Nazarite, an Israelite who consecrated himself or herself and took a vow of separation and self-imposed abstinence for the purpose of some special service. There were two different types of Nazaritisms, the temporary and the perpetual. And of the first type was far more common. In fact, we know only of three of the last class: Samson, Samuel, and John the Baptist. They were the perpetual Nazarites. The three principal marks which distinguished the Nazarites were renunciation of wine and all products of the vine, including grapes, prohibition of the use of the razor, avoidance of contact with a dead body. John the Baptist, the forerunner of Christ, was a Nazarite from birth. He was a perpetual Nazarite, okay? And that can be found in Luke 1 and 15. The period of time for the vow was anywhere from 30 days to a lifetime. And a Nazarite can be rightfully defined in Numbers chapter 6, verses 1 through 21, and in the book of Judges, chapter 13, 5 through 7, in Amos, chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. Go to those three different books and you will notice what it means by her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were purer than snow because they followed the Nazarite vow to the letter. They were whiter than milk because they were pure. In fact, let's just exegete some of this so we could be more clearer, and so you won't say that I'm using my own understanding. Let's go. All right. Psalms 51 goes into how you could be whiter than snow and how you could be pure. This is how you're pure, okay? Psalms 51 and 7, purge me with hyssop and I shall be clean. Okay, clean is pure. Wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. So, Michael Brown, because I said you're not a doctor, unless you are a witch doctor, evil witch doctor coming with that voodoo, seducing spirits with a smooth tongue doctrine. That's the only doctor that you are, the doctor of wickedness. When you say that they were whiter than snow or whiter than milk, that was talking about their skin. You vain, vile, wicked, abominable man you are. Because right here it said, wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. So you mean to tell me somebody with darker skin can wash and their skin will be whiter than snow? Well, why is it not working for you, Michael Brown? Why are you not whiter than snow? You're not whiter than snow. You're pink. You're a pink, peach looking dude. You know what I mean? And when you get in the sun and you get sunburned, you become red. You start probably looking like a lobster. Okay, so let's not use that pure means a white person. You wicked animal. Let's not say that, because it says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean," which is pure. Okay, so let's not come with the wickedness. So you're saying if you purge with hyssop, then somebody with darker skin will become white? And you saying in your interpretation that every white person is pure and whiter than snow, when you know that you got white people sitting in prison right now for doing all types of wickedness, child molestation, child pornography, killing people, racial violence, robbing banks, doing every abominable thing imaginable, and you want to tell me that just because your skin is white, that you're pure and that you're free of sin, you wicked, dirty dog, you? Yeah, Michael Brown, I'm talking to you, because that was just unacceptable that you even brought Lamentations 4 and 7 as a premise to explain that it was talking about a skin color, you wicked dog, when we see that it says, wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. That's your exegesis right there, instead of you coming with your own understanding. Okay? Let's go to verse 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts. In the inward parts. That's how the body is ready, because the inward parts, the inside of them, their spirit is being purged clean. And in the hidden part, thou shalt make me to know wisdom. That's how the body is ready, you wicked man. Hide thy face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. Okay, so your whole understanding that you brought out is wicked, Michael Brown. It's wicked. And I'm calling you out once again. All right. Michael Brown read verses 7 of Lamentations, and their polishings was as of sapphire. What does that mean? Let's go to verse 12 of Psalms 144 and see that our sons may be as plants growing up in their youth. That's a Nazarite. You know, you got two different types, as we already learned, the kind that are temporary and the kind that are perpetual, going from 30 days up until from the youth to a lifetime. That our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace. How are they polished? That our garners may be full, affording all manner of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. So that means they don't need the king for anything. They're self-sufficient. They're polished after the similitude of a palace, because a palace is wealthy. A palace is rich. Okay? A palace doesn't need another kingdom to give them anything. Okay? They're fortified. That's why I said there's no breaking in nor going out. There will be no complaining in our streets, because we have everything that we need. You, Michael Brown, are showing that you are a wicked animal, and you don't need the title of doctor unless you put the term witch doctor or voodoo doctor in front of your name. Ask Voodoo Dr. Brown. Ask which Dr. Brown? That's what you should be saying on your videos instead of asking Dr. Brown like you're doctor to heal a sick. You are a doctor to heal, well, to give the feel-good doctrine to the wicked. That's what you are, the witch Dr. Brown. Michael Brown, I'm about to put one more nail in your coffin because you are the walking dead and you need to be buried. And here it goes. Isaiah 1:18, you're talking about whiter than milk. Like that's basically talking about somebody's skin. You wicked dog, you. Listen, come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet. So now we know that the color of sin is likened to that of a scarlet. Which color of scarlet? What's the color of scarlet? Is red. Though your sins be as a scarlet. It's not talking about no one's skin. They shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Okay? Once again, that's giving you a similitude of wool. Okay? It didn't say goat's hair, it said wool. Okay? So, if ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. Okay? So, your sins could become white if you're willing and obedient. Okay? But if you refuse, you shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken. Okay? So this has nothing to do with your little wicked skin, Dr. Brown, witch Dr. Brown, voodoo Dr. Brown. So just everything about you is just showing your wickedness.
And let's also remember that when Moses married an Ethiopian woman, according to Numbers, the 12th chapter, there was controversy in the family over that. Ethiopians were black. Ethiopians, a Cushite in Hebrew, they were black. As for everything we know about Moses and his ancestors, they go back not to Africa, they go back to Mesopotamia, the Babylonians, the Assyrians. These are Middle Eastern people like the...
What did he say about, what did this Nimrod say about Ethiopia and Cush, Mesopotamia, and Babylon?
Ethiopians, a Cushite.
I thought that's what that Nimrod said. Ethiopia, he referenced Ethiopia with Cush, and then he said something about, but Mesopotamia and Babylon, and I'm talking about Michael Brown said Mesopotamia and Babylon are what you would consider Arabia and Middle Eastern. This right here proves that Nimrod has no idea of what he's talking about. He doesn't have a clue. And that's funny because let's read Genesis 10 and let's read verses 8. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth. Verse 9, he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Now, let's find out what the land of Shinar is. And Babel is telling you that the beginning of his kingdom was Babel. There's not information if he started Babel, but Nimrod was the king of Babel. Okay? And that was the beginning of his kingdom, Babel. Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. So all of this is in Shinar. Let's find out what Shinar is. All right. Michael Brown he just keeps showing you he doesn't have a clue of what he's talking about, because when you look up Shinar, and I got the Compact Bible Dictionary right here, and it basically says Shinar Shannara, alluvial plain of Babylonia, in which lay cities of Babel, Arik, Akkad, Calneh, the same as Genesis. And it says Jews exiled to Shinar. Nebuchadnezzar transported temple treasures to Shinar area. But when you look at Wikipedia, it basically says, and I forget where I saw it at, but I came up to the same conclusion. That's why I caught it immediately. Shinar is the term used in the Hebrew Bible for the general region of Mesopotamia. So everything about what that Michael Brown, the voodoo witch doctor, said doesn't line up. First, he said the Ethiopians, who are the Cush, are different from the Mesopotamians and the Babylonians, when we know that a Cushite who was known by Nimrod, and that was his first kingdom. So is it safe to assume that he founded, or he was the starter of Babylonia, which when you look up the Hebrew Bible, the name Shinar occurs 8 times in the Hebrew Bible, in which it refers to Babylonia. This location of Shinar is evident from its description as encompassing both Babylon, and northern Babylonia, and Erech and Uruk in southern Babylonia. In the book of Genesis 10, verse 10, the beginning of Nimrod's kingdom is said to have been Babel. Okay? So, there you have it. And let's see, and then when you look up the etymology, Sassy identifies Shinar as cognate with the names Sangar mentioned in the context of the Asiatic conquest of Thutmose III, 15th century. Sankar of the Amarna letters, the Greeks Singara, and modern Sinyar in Upper Mesopotamia. So there you have it. I mean, it's conclusive that Shinar is thought to be in the region of Mesopotamia, who Michael Brown, and I'm sorry, I'm watching television, I'm watching the football game right now as well, but it's evident that Shinar is in itself in the region of Mesopotamia, and it's very, very clear that it's in Babylonia or Babylon, which contradicts everything that Michael Brown said in that segment. So Michael Brown, you fell again. Your hermeneutics and apologetic skills are just empty. You have none. So anytime you want to address a people, make sure you're coming with actual facts, because you're not talking to your followers, those that are not going to fact check you, okay? So welcome to G Checker TV, and Michael Brown, the witch doctor, you have been G checked.
Ethiopians, a Cushite, about Moses and his ancestors, they go back not to Africa, they go back to Mesopotamia. The Babylonians, Ethiopians, a Cushite,